His Excellency the Governor Shri Kalyan Singh Ji, the Honorable Chief Minister Srimati Vasundhara Raje, the two very distinguished ministers from Singapore and Australia, union ministers, captains of industry, ministers of the state government, members of parliament, Rajasthan Legislative Assembly, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, a privilege to be invited to associate with the Resurgent Rajasthan Conference being organized under the leadership of Srimati Vasundhara Raje. She was explaining towards the end as to the object of Resurgent Rajasthan, and the object being not just a one-time event where captains of industry come and interact with government, but a movement which shows the inflow of capital and investment flows taking place into Rajasthan. Rajasthan is a land of history. Its cities, its villages literally symbolize that history. But one of the important aspects of the Rajasthan history has been the ability of people of one part of this region who specialized in not only earning money but multiplying money. Even today, if you go to any part of India or even outside, you'll find hundreds and thousands of those who emerged out of Rajasthan, whose roots were in Rajasthan, who knew the art of doing business, who knew the art of money making, who went and settled down in various parts of the world and made an impact. In fact, some of the brightest and the most successful came out of Rajasthan. And notwithstanding this glorious tradition of the state, I recollect 2003, when Vasundhara ji first became the Chief Minister, Rajasthan still had the dubious distinction of being that R in the Bimaru states. Rajasthan was a land which of course was deprived of water, which had lesser rainfall and a consequent impact on agriculture. And the manner in which the economy of Rajasthan had been managed, it was obviously a slow-moving state. And one of the most difficult challenges at that time was, how do you get Rajasthan out of this Bimaru status? 2003 to 2008 was a difficult period. We all saw a new history in the making, where we saw a considerable amount of urban development take place. The face of Jaipur and other cities of the state was changing. Sections of the industry started looking at Rajasthan. Tourism was picking up. And new segments of the economy were coming up. Ajmer started symbolizing the multicultural, multi-religious character, famous for its religious tourism. Kota suddenly developed as a hub for training people in education. And slowly you had the pockets of growth in the state which had started. Somewhere that model discontinued. And one aspect of that, and something with which we in the central government have been struggling for the past few months, in 2008, the Rajasthan State Electricity Board had a total DISCOM debt of 21,000 crores. In 2013, it had multiplied to 72,000 crores. Now, I pick this as an example in order to demonstrate as to what went wrong during that period. The result of this 72,000 crore debt is that people don't pay for the power they consume. And one of the fundamental principles of all infrastructural utilities is that unless users pay, the utilities cannot come up and they cannot survive. The consequential effect, that today the cost of power in Rajasthan has a 2 rupee per unit interest burden. Because of the mismanagement of the tariff system during that period. Today you owe thousands and thousands of crores to public sector banks, and along with such amounts paid by some other dues by some other state discoms, the banks themselves are under stress. And the stress which you cause to the banks has now created a situation that banks find it difficult to lend to other enterprises across the country. So it has had an adverse impact as far as the national economy is concerned. How does then one plan the economic model of a state like Rajasthan? Obviously, you need to grow. You need to invite industry. You need to invite investment in manufacturing, in services, in mining, in all these sectors. And it's extremely important to put each one of our systems in place. And therefore, 2 weeks ago, we in the central government had to come out with a new scheme under which a part of the state discom's debt has now had to be absorbed by the Rajasthan government itself, so that we can now restart a new chapter in which people start getting electricity at reasonable rates and the pressure on the discoms itself goes down. This can now start a process of investment into the states itself. And I think Rajasthan has finally found its core areas. And from the tenor of the speeches that I have heard since morning, people wanting to invest in solar power, in wind power, that is because you have a large land surface. And obviously, that's going to be one of the areas of core competence. The details of the MOUs that were handed over to me, I found literally dozens, if not more, people wanting to invest in the tourism sector, something which has come as a mainstay of Rajasthan economy. And here also we must learn the best lessons from across the world, that it's never high-cost tourism loaded with high levels of taxation which is going to help the tourism in any part of the country. It's volumes which is going to add to the economy of Rajasthan. It's volumes of that tourism which is going to bring jobs to Rajasthan. And therefore, while you invite all these investors today, we'll probably have to rewrite some of the chapters in the conventional planning which we have undertaken. India in the last few months has been following a policy with renewed vigor of attracting investment into the country. Public investment has significantly increased. Foreign direct investment has considerably increased. Private sector investment is slowly picking up. We've eased all the rules as far as investments is concerned. And I'm sure Rajasthan, as an extremely progressive state, is certainly going to gain from this new investment chapter that India is writing. The ease of doing business, which Mr. Godrej in his opening comments did mention, is not merely a slogan. It actually involves cutting down the time period between today, when all these investors have decided to invest in Rajasthan, and the actual launch of their projects. Difficulty in doing business can disillusion investors. The investors have a choice in actually migrating their investments elsewhere. And we in India today have now started a healthy tradition of states competing with each other in order to attract investment into the states. Rajasthan took the lead 2 years ago by becoming a pioneer state in the matter of labor reforms. Rajasthan should now endeavor to become a pioneer state in the ease of doing business, where land is easily available, sanctions are easily granted, and between the date that all these honorable gentlemen on the dais and elsewhere in this beautiful convention center decide to invest in the state and the actual commencement of their projects, if the time taken is the least compared to any other part of the country, your right to future investments and your entitlement to those future investments is also going to increase. I think in the changed environment in India, one factor which has to be very clearly realized, that the India of 2015 is not the India of 1971. It is not even the India of 1991. The aspirational constituency of India has increased. That aspirational constituency which supports growth, which supports reform, which in fact is now getting impatient and wants India to reform much faster. The support of that constituency for change, reform and growth has hugely increased. And therefore, for the actions which governments at the center and states like Rajasthan are taking, there's a huge amount of public support. And the onus on all of us, therefore, is to open our doors wide for this investment, to ease in the systems under which people can choose to do business, to make sure that governance becomes completely corruption-free, to make sure that scope for discretions is very little, and that systems can manage on their own, to make sure that our taxations are at a reasonable level, so that the rates of taxations are not so onerous, or the policy of taxation is not so aggressive that it deters investors away, to make sure that all facilities from capital to land to natural resources are available in a non-discretionary, non-arbitrary manner, quickly as far as our investors are concerned. And I have not the least doubt that the initiative which the Rajasthan government has taken in the past 2 years will certainly bring a lot of results as far as the people of Rajasthan are concerned. Rajasthan has a huge potential to grow. A huge potential to grow because its sectors are such where the space for growth is much more. The untouched areas are huge. And with the dynamism that the leadership of the Honorable Chief Minister has been providing to Rajasthan, I have no doubt in my mind with the support of the central government, all the hurdles which the state has faced, all the legacy issues in terms of public financing that you have inherited. I am conscious of the fact that 55% of all your expenditure is a tied-up expenditure. And probably with the Pay Commission submitting its report today, that percentage may slightly increase for the time being. What then is the solution for you? The expenditure will not contract, but your income can expand. And the eventual answer for you is to expand that income, to expand the reform activity, to expand the width of your economic activity. And if you did that, I think Rajasthan will see a much better future. And the Resurgent Rajasthan will not merely be a history which is symbolized in the cities and the palaces of the state, but that history of the money earners who went elsewhere and made their big bucks probably would now start looking back at Rajasthan and invest in a place where their roots always lied. My best wishes to the Honorable Chief Minister and the people of Rajasthan, and a great success in your endeavor to create this Resurgent Rajasthan. Thank you very much.